Thank you so much for coming. We have a fantastic event right now to share with you. I'm sure we will have a fantastic time. So, you know Ofie and Mark, they're with us now. We are so delighted that they graciously invited us to their home in Limeuil. It is pronounced Limeuil.
Limeuil.
Limeuil, yeah. Very hard to say, but anyway, we learned how to say it. Some of us have been fortunate enough to visit Ofie and Mark in their fantastic village that has been protected through the years, and you're going to see it's a medieval village and it has been preserved with a population that has remained steady through the decades of 300 plus people. So that's the population in their town. And Ofie and Mark, as a lot of you know, I think Luella wrote their love story in one of our Viber chats. Met in UP. They're both professors of humanities and French, and since then they've been together for over 40 plus years. So we're gonna learn more from Ofie and Mark about their life in France, and they're sharing that with you. So this is Ofie's beautiful family. So my cursor disappears, so please help me here, Ofie. Okay, so we're gonna start with your eldest son.
Yeah, that he's upper left, the standing behind, that's the one. That's Francois. He's 47 years old this year in October. In fact, he's coming soon because he's going to be assigned. His work will bring him to the southwest of France, so they're house hunting now. Next to him is his younger sister, Beatrice. She was born in 1975, so she's 45. Next to Beatrice is Francois' wife, Julie. She's also a microbiologist like him. Next to Julie is the evil stepmother. Then next is Emily, who's the second daughter of Francois and Julie. And she has a very high IQ, so she's not in the regular schooling programs. So she's, anyway. The next is Mark. And in front of him is the eldest boy of Jan Philippe. They're the ones who live in Luxembourg. His name is Maxime. Behind him is Alice, who's the eldest girl of Francois and Julie. She's 18, and she's carrying Flavia, who is the second girl of Beatrice. And next to that is our youngest son, Jan Philippe. He's the one who lives in Luxembourg, and he's carrying his youngest daughter, his only daughter, Constance, because Francois and Beatrice, they both have all girls, 3 girls each. Jan Philippe had 3 boys each, and then suddenly they had this little girl who came. Parang swerte daw yun, basta 3 in a row, and then the different sex, swerte daw yun. So we go to the next level. That is Alexis, who is the husband of Beatrice. He's holding Sidonie, the youngest daughter of Francois. The next one is Luca. He was named Lucas, because it's a homage to my mother, since her maiden name is Lucas. And I think there are a lot of Lucas in our families. They're using the names. And Sandra's sister-in-law is a Lucas also, Sandra Chavez. Now, the last row seated is the little girl, the youngest of Beatrice. Her name is Roxanne. Then she's very sweet. And then the next one is the dog, Doogie. He's a beagle. That's the only male in the household of Francois, kasi panay babae. Behind the Doogie is Chloe, who is the eldest of Beatrice. And on the far right is the wife of Jan Philippe Segolène with their youngest son, Vladimir. His name is Vladimir, not after Putin, but because Ségolène is of Russian descent. Her mother is a Chekhov. Anyway, so this is the whole family, and I think our children have decided to stop at 10 grandchildren. Matatanda na sila eh, so. Now, the great-grandchildren will certainly come later because Alice, the eldest, is only 18, and she's still going to study math or something, some science course that I don't understand.
Ofie, does Mark want to say a few words?
He's having his breakfast there, so.
Mamaya na lang.
What, Mark, you want to say something? Oh, there he is.
There he is. So you have seen our beautiful children and our beautiful grandchildren. We're so happy with them. And they love to come to Limeuil.
Thank you, Mark. Enjoy your breakfast. What are you having for breakfast?
Well, actually, I'm cooking because I cook every day. She doesn't like to cook. And now having for breakfast or just a piece of bread, coffee, and a yogurt. That's all.
No, with jam that I make.
With jam that she made, yeah.
From the peach tree.
Okay. All right, Ofie, I'm going to turn the slides back so that we can continue. Okay. All right, so that's the family of Ofie. A lot of you know Ofie's accomplishments. I just chose a couple here to share. Ofie's website is gelvezon-tequi.com. I would encourage you to visit it. It's a beautiful website that has her work, her background, information about Ofie. And we're very proud that Ofie is one of our Maya awardees.
Nora, that painting is with you.
This painting is with Nora de la Serna. Our New York sisters have hosted a couple of exhibits of Ofie. One in 2003 where I bought my painting, and another one in 2015. And this painting is currently with Nora de la Serna in Davao. Ongoing now in Manila at the CCP is Ofie's exhibit. Ofie, you want to share a few things about these paintings here?
The painting on the left with Erap doing his virtual reality game is owned by that's owned by UP, and I thought it would be best to have it in UP because alam mo naman ang attitude sa UP. And he ignores the needy woman behind him. And then this one on the right is one of my earliest prints, which won a prize in Manila for the Philippine Printmakers Association thing. But this is like in the early 70s pa. It's on display at the CCP right now.
All right. So Ofie prepared an outline, and feel free to ask questions at the end of every segment. Ofie, you want to talk about your outline?
Yeah, I think we will start with the village itself, the village which we really discovered quite by accident, because when the children were small, we used to spend 2 months in Manila, 2 summer months in Manila, but since at that time wala pang masyadong mga charter flights and all that, mahal to go to Manila every year. So every other year we would spend it in France. And here, we thought that I told Mark, there's a region that I don't know well, Dordogne. And but quite by luck, I have a friend whose family owned some property here, and I asked him if we could rent a house. And we did, and that's how we found the house that we are living in now, really by accident. And well, it was love at first sight. The house itself, now there are two houses, because when we bought the house, it was just the big house. And I will show you exactly which room made us fall in love with this place. And there was a smaller house, which was then a ruin. And it was what do you call this, restored recently in the past. I think it was restored 6 years ago, and this is exactly where we are. It's this small house is where we live in the winter, because it's easier to heat, and the heating is of course more modern. We have a heat exchange unit. But in the summer we move back to the big house, because the children and the grandchildren are there. And so this small house, since it's empty, we put it up on holiday rentals with, I think, with Home Away. Anyway, the houses are called Grand Ormeaux. Ormeaux in French means elm, because apparently before the disease of the elm trees, there were huge elm trees growing in the property. And the former owners used to call this place Villa Les Ormeaux. We just put it down to the elms, Les Ormeaux. And you will see later on that there was an old carpenter in the village who bought those logs of elm wood, and we had them made into a table. So parang the elms came back to where they came from, so to speak. And then of course, the last part of this talk will be, what do I do here? Since it's a small village that is quite remote from big cities. There's the garden, with which we were working a lot, lalo na during the confinement period. And then here, I came to appreciate more the changes in the seasons. I got to learn from our nice neighbors how to make duck confit, how to make conserves of foie gras, and things like that. And for the first time in my life, I learned to make jams. And then, of course, I didn't give up my painting, and I have a print workshop downstairs, the press of which has an excellent pedigree, because the etching press I have is secondhand, bought from Juvenal Sanso. We had to make tawa divisoria with him. Anyway, and since there's a potter in the village, she opens her workshop for hobbyists like me, and so I have a few pots that I make, which you will also see. Can we go on, Lisa? Yes, our village is one of the most beautiful villages in France. There are about 153 of them, and out of about 30,000 villages. So you have to have certain criteria. And the thing that keeps this village in that category is because it has preserved its medieval look. Why it has preserved it with medieval look is because in the 19th century, the trains started to arrive in the next village. So parang na-ignore dito. And then also, there was no running water. So here, if you want to buy a house, paano yan? Walang tubig. So somehow, there were no real estate speculators who came and changed the character of the village. Besides, now, because of this qualification of the village, you cannot do anything in the exterior of your house without permission. so to keep the homogeneity of the look of the village. So this is the village now. It is bead-shaped on top of a hill, and it sits exactly where two rivers join, the Dordogne and the Vézère. The Vézère leads you to those prehistoric caves. The Dordogne also. The village has 4 chateaus. Ours is a house. It's not a chateau. The house is just there. I think you can see there where the cursor is. That's our house. And the village is small. The inhabitants are 300 something, 350. That's including the people who live outside the village itself. And there are only 2 practicing farmers. Most of the houses are secondary houses for vacation. So much so that if you see the house, there's a street in front of it. That's the main road. And in the winter, we're only 11 from the top to the bottom. We're only 11 inhabitants on the main road. The map that Lisa found is not exact, but if you will see Paris, you will see how far we are, because Limeuil is almost, it's like almost under the first O of the Dordogne. And it takes 5.5 hours to get here by train, about between 5 to 6 hours to get here by car. And the Sinayaying, Sinamia, they know how long it took to get here. So it's really touching for us to know that many have gone out of their way to come all the way down here, because they usually just visit Mont Saint-Michel and things like that. But you know, since we're off the beaten track, it's quite an interesting place. And if you're interested in the prehistoric aspect, the Lascaux Caves are just there. It's just 17 kilometers from here. If you're interested in chateaus, there are 1,000 chateaus just in the Dordogne, mostly 95% privately owned, and even Limeuil itself has 4 chateaus, all privately owned.
Okay, I'm gonna share a video while we have Ofie continuously talking there. I'm going to put the music. Please stay muted. I'm gonna put the music of the video on low so that Ofie can talk over the video.
That's the main road going up. You can see that the streets are very narrow. This is the view from the municipal building to looking at the river. This is the street going up, and the house on the left used to be the blacksmith's shop. He doesn't, he's not that one. He doesn't work there anymore. He has retired. And now it's a painter who has taken over. This used to be the site of the blacksmith. He took it with him. Now, as you go up, it will lead to our house. This is looking down this is going up. And from our house, you can see that on the other side of the valley, there's a troglodyte house, a house that is stuck in a cave or something. It's buried in the cliff of that house. Our property is on the left, and this is looking down. This is my garden with boxwood that before it got diseased. This is the same street, and it's called Grand Rue, but it's still the same as the Rue du Port where we live. It changed name after. certain place. Now this street, this is the house of the justice, where the judge used to judge criminal cases, and legend has it that there's a jail underneath the House of Justice. It's a very small place but beautiful. This is the church that's on top of the village called St. Catherine. It is used by Anglicans. Now, Limeuil is fortified, and this is one of the gates that where you can go inside the village. This is the north gate, the Porte de Marquisa, and if you enter, you can through that gate you see the church. This is Maison Touraine, which is supposed to be one of the oldest houses in the village. This is another gate, which is the one in front of the river. Our house is on the street called Rue du Port, P-O-R-T, because there used to be a lot of fluvial traffic. There was a port of flat-bottom boats which would bring wood and cattle and other produce. That's our house. Would bring produce from the upper part of the Dordogne River to bring it all the way down to Bordeaux. One of the things they used to bring would be the wood, since the oak wood would be used to make the wine barrels in the Bordeaux region. This is the third gate. This is the bottom of the lower portion of the House of Justice. Again, St. Catherine, and this is the back. This is the inside of St. Catherine Church, and on that one of the niches there, they have a Black Virgin. It's all painted in black. Now this house was bought by a friend. We saw it as a ruin, and it was bought for $10,000. More of the narrow streets. This is a shed which is just outside this north gate, and this house is in front of the restaurant, which is really one of our nearest neighbors, and they serve regional specialties. So that's the end of the video.
We just wanted to give you an overview of the town, but let me get back to our PowerPoint slide. So, Ofie, you want to talk about the two rivers?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, the village sits on top of a hill where two rivers meet. One is the Dordogne, which is on your right, and the other is the Vézère, which is on your left. And the peculiar thing about these two rivers, when they meet, they don't mix right away. And you can see that the colors of their waters they don't have the same color. On the left, you have the Vézère, which apparently goes through peat. That's why the color of the water is a bit ruddy. Whereas the Dordogne on your right goes through rocks. That's why it's a nicer blue. And I think in this photo, you can see that it's not just the reflection of the trees, it's the actual difference in color. Next, please.
You know, I cannot forget this, Ofie, because when Chug and I were there, you brought us there. And up to this day, I cannot forget this beautiful scenery.
It's very idyllic. Now, this is one of the main sites of the village. It's the Chapel of Saint Martin. Saint Martin was built by Richard the Lion-Hearted, and there is a dedicatory stone which is on your lower left-hand corner, and on the lower right-hand corner, you can see the inscription Ricardo Rege Anglia, the Richard, King of the English, and that's the facade. Now, Richard the Lion-Hearted had this chapel erected because he wanted to make sure that his father, Henry II, Henry Plantagenet, no?
Yeah.
Would not go to hell, because Henry had ordered the murder of Thomas à Becket. So, please God save my father. That's why he made this. He had this church, this chapel erected. So I don't know if God heard him, but Richard the Lion-Hearted was often out of England, even if he was the king. So it was his brother, John Lackland, who was sitting there on the throne, and Richard the Lion-Hearted died in France of I think of an arrow that wounded him. In the meantime, John Lackland, he was always badly featured in movies and things like that. But to his credit, you have to give him the honor of having instituted the Magna Carta, which was signed in Runnymede. Oh, next, please. Now, another important, in quotes, person who was supposed to have been born in Limeuil is in the Wikipedia, she's called Isabel, but here in the town and in the region, she's called Isabeau de Limeuil. And she was recruited by Catherine de Medicis to be part of the bevy that she had around her of young, beautiful girls to spy and on their male acquaintances and all that. But finally, she did live a happy married life because she married a rich Italian banker. That's it. That's the claim to fame of Limeuil. But I got to know about this much later, only when we had settled down here. So now we're going to talk about our houses. Now, our house is on the main street, as I have mentioned earlier. The cursor of Lisa shows where the house is, and the close-up of the house, as you can see on your right. It looks formidable, but actually we just live on the part that has those 3 windows, because that is street level. Below we have 2 levels of basement. So that's because since the house was constructed on a slope, it had to adjust to the geographical exigencies of the site. Next, please. These are the 2 rivers. Again, you can, the one on the right is Dordogne, the one on the left is La Vézère. The 2 bridges are almost at right angles of each other. And I think even in this funny picture, you can see the different colors of the water. And this is the view that you get when you go up to the panoramic garden in Limeuil. Right now it's quite hot, so you can see people can swim, but the rivers are not too deep. You can see from the way that those people are wading in the water, and sometimes when there's there's a bit of drought, you can actually cross from one bank to the other practically on foot without drowning. Now, this is an old map of Limeuil, which dates way back into 1764. And our property starts from the left. It has a gentle arch and ends in Quarton, that cartonné, up to there. We didn't know that there was much land on a slope. The reason why we bought this house was because we fell in love with something which you will see in a later slide. Next, please. Now, this is the house that you see from the street as you go up. If you're coming from the river, you go up the main street, the Rue du Port, and port, because there was a port before. As I mentioned earlier, there was a lot of traffic, fluvial traffic that went on. And this is what you see when you come in, when you go up, that's our house. And the reason why we put the French flag is because there are a lot of English in the region. And to show that we're not English, I put the flag. Now, this is the view from one of the bedrooms where I think Lisa and Chug stayed. There are 2 bedrooms with this view, and you can see the river beyond the picturesque roofs of the houses. Now, it was when we entered this room, which is actually now our dining room, which made us fall in love with the house. If you will look well at the floor, it is composed of individual stones that they call young girl's heart, cœur de jeune fille, because it is shaped like a tooth and it is stuck into the ground, directly on the ground. So years pass, you wear it down, it becomes quite smooth. But then I tell my grandchildren, anything you drop, it's lost forever. So, but this room was so charming, and it had not moved for, let's say, I think at least 200 years, that made us fall in love with the house. If you see the corner, there is something hanging. That's a counterweight of the rotisserie that they used to have, which we had restored. Okay, next, please. We tried to keep this room as intact as possible. Here you can see better the floor which made us fall in love with this house. And where there is the place where you have the door on the upper left, that's where I hide all the white appliances, the fridge, the oven, the washing machine, and all that, to give the room its character of the past. But of course, we cannot help but have also a TV screen somewhere. Kasi kung kami lang dalawa ni Mark, we also watch the news while eating. Now, this house, from the kitchen, from the dining room, which is the door there, you can still see a bit of the chairs. There's a little vestibule where I have the laundry, where I keep the laundry, a linen closet, a linen aparador, and also a vaisselier where you keep glasses and plates. But you go through that and you come into the library. Most of the things in the library are Mark's Filipiniana, my literature for gardens are on the right side, but it's mostly Filipiniana and history books. Then you going through, you go into the sala. This is the sala that was used by the former owners as their bedroom, which we thought was would be nice to make it into a sala. And it is, I chose yellow because somehow I find it gay, and I said, of course, it's imperial yellow, whereas the library is celadon. So it's a influence of Chinese. Yeah, that's imperial yellow. And of course, there are potteries that I made. Some are, which you will see later on, and some are bought by me. But this is all influenced by our stay in Hong Kong. This is the vestibule, and when we bought the house, we bought everything that was in it, the basura as well as the treasures. That we found these pots, which used to hold walnut oil or duck confit, and like those basins at the bottom, the green basins at the bottom. Someone told me that they were used to pour milk, and he showed me where people put their thumbs when they pour the milk. And but I placed them on something very Pinoy, which is a sugarcane crusher, that one. And on the corner, I had it cut into two because we had to check it in the plane. It was that's what you put there in the hole of the one of the mills, so that there's a carabao that will go around it, and the sugarcane juice would be caught by a furrow that goes down. Okay. The furniture on the left was in the house, and we took pains to scrape off the dirty varnish, and turned out it was made out of walnut. And of course, you can see the Indonesian. This is I mix Oriental and Western. Actually, kung anong nahahanap sa bahay, kung maganda together, even if they're not of the same origin, it's there. Next, please. Yeah, this is another view of the pots, which you will see later on, inspired me to give them another life, which I put in my paintings, as you can see behind me. There I have used them in my paintings, not just one, in many of my paintings. Now, actually, last autumn we had water damage because there was a leak in the roof. So I cannot show you all the rooms right now, except just this room of Beatrice, which is quite interesting because it's like an inverted boat. And yeah, so next please. This is a view from one of the rooms, not the room that you just saw, in winter. And that's the troglodyte house. And Lisa asked me earlier, is this a painting? I said, no, it's an actual photo of that house in winter. And you can, if you will see the other views of the river and the houses, it's fascinating because it's beautiful in all seasons and at all times of the day. Can we please see them? Yeah, this is morning, early morning, with the mist still hanging around of the river and the houses and the roofs. I never get tired of looking at it. Yeah. And this is when the sun had gone down and they had lighted the street lamps, and there's a mist that has just come in. It's so romantic. It's so even poetic. Next, please. Oh yeah, this one is at sunset, and the sun had gone down. The sky has turned color peach, and you can still see the troglodyte house on the right. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the house has 2 levels of basement. In one level is the wine cellar. The wine cellar, Mark shares with me. He has his wines there, and I have my toyo mansi, my patis, my sugarcane vinegar and all that, as well as my tomato sauces and the foie gras that I make. I even used to make, I don't make anymore, I even used to make preserves of asparagus. But ayoko na, masyado matrabaho. Yeah, so these are my tomato sauces with tomato soup. There's green tomato sauce because there are green tomatoes, etc. And I also make jams. Most of the jams come from fruit trees in the garden, or the strawberries, they come from a strawberry grower who is just in the next village. And when Winnie Monsod was here, she said, those are the best strawberries she's ever tasted. Anyway, this is my vegetable garden. You can see on the right that we have started to eat the salad, which are beside the tomato plants that have not yet that have no fruits that are ripe. It's too early yet, but the small plants that you see in the center, they are upland kangkong, which does not need a lot of water. And on the left is my pitiful attempt to plant corn, because there is a variety of corn in the States called Silver Queen, which is sarap. Apparently it's expensive though, on Silver Queen. Now, we go to the small house, and this is the view of the street from the small house. As you can see, behind the car, there is a house that straddles the street. So when you go down our street, you have to go underneath that house, and you can see the garden already from that house. Next, please. Now, this is the view from where the car was. This is the view of the small house and garden below, and Mark's car there. This was taken in the afternoon. Yeah, and this is the view of the garden with the wisteria all blooming. I have boxwood, which I have whose shapes I have changed, and since I'm crazy about blue flowers, there's what you call California lilacs, Ceanothus, on the left. Same view from the street. Yes. And yeah, and in the garden, we have set up lounging chairs underneath a parasol, facing away from the street, which is just above. So looking into the view of the valley beyond. So when the entrance to the small house, which we actually call the Petit Ormeau, or the small elm, is the street entrance is on that dark part on the right-hand side, because that leads to the street. But this where the arrow is, yeah, that's the one. But where the door is lighted, that's where we usually enter, and this is what you see. You go inside the house, and right away it's the dining room. Now this house has only one bedroom. Now this is the dining room. The furniture is not French, it is Ilocano. We bought this in Ilocos and had it shipped. And behind the orchid is a pillowcase stand, which we bought for 800 pesos, which was more than my salary in UP at that time. Now this is another view of the dining room with the Ilocano dining furniture, and on the right-hand side is the living room with simple IKEA furniture. The cabinet on the right-hand side with the red lamp, yeah, hides the TV. And the cabinet is also Ilocano, like the other cabinet here, which is Ilocano. And on top, I have as you can see behind me, it's the urna from Bohol. So actually, right now, I'm sitting at the table here behind the canapé. Next, please. Yeah, this is the sala, the living room, and you can see my paintings, which were inspired by the pots we found in the house. Now this is the kitchen. Since we have a lot of guests, it's a 5-burner kitchen with a huge oven. And you go out that door, and you can have that door, and you can have your breakfast or lunch in the balcony or in the terrace, enjoying the view. So see, we put up a table there with a chair, and you have the view of the river and the troglodyte house. It's very pleasant, very, yeah. A lot of people like it. Now this is the upstairs corridor. On the left, you have the bath and shower. On the right, closets. Right at the end of this corridor are the stairs that bring you downstairs. And you are looking from the bedroom. Now this is the bedroom with since it's under the roof, it can be very hot. So we have air conditioning and a TV, of course, because it lulls me to sleep. And we kept the rafters. We didn't put the ceiling right where the rafters are. We kept it so that there is more feeling of space. Can we please see the next there? Yeah. We kept the rafters they're very rough, and they were not meant to be seen in the first place. But what was interesting is that the structure is assembled on the ground and then brought up to be reassembled up where it should be, and to make them know which part would go with which part. There are still engraved by the carpenters Roman numbers that will match with each other. The cross there is a cross given by a dear friend, Jerry Picar, when she bought that in Haiti when she was assigned there. Next, please. Now, underneath the house is my workshop. If you can see underneath there is the statue of Mariang Maya, which I got way back in '83, and it's in wood, signed by Abueva, so it's still precious. And the oblation was for a UP award that I got in 2014, I think, I'm not sure. And you can see that on the walls, I have some, again, most of my paintings, but on the left is where I do the prints. The other side, the other photo, you will see the etching press that I use to do my prints, and of course, again, my paintings. Now, what do I do? You've seen my vegetable garden. No, I don't plant asparagus. But here, I've learned to do so many things for the first time. Like I did asparagus conserves, as you can see in the basement. But this one was a photo I took of the first asparagus we ate in the season. And what is nice about living here is that you live with the seasons. We look forward to asparagus in March, April. And this is another dish I made. It's asparagus mousse. You can eat it cold or hot. Now, the Perigord region is also known as a gastronomic region because we not only have foie gras, we also have duck confit. And here are truffles, winter truffles that I serve on toast. There are two kinds of truffles. The ones that really smell good are the melanosporum. They are the winter ones. There are summer truffles which are less perfumed, but if you're here in the wrong season, it can be pwede pasar. So to make them, to appreciate them, you don't cook these winter truffles. You just serve them raw on toast and with salted butter. And of course, strawberries. There's a big strawberry farm in the next village, and we are spoiled by the quality of the strawberries that we get. And these I cut them up because they were made into jams, which you saw in an earlier slide. And I must have served that variety of strawberry when Winnie and her family were here. So this is what I do, cooking. And you know, I don't know if you've tasted morels, but they're lovely. And these are morels, mushrooms that we found in the garden. It's like a grace of God, like manna. Anyway, I gathered them, I froze them, and we cooked them with asparagus one day. That's it. Yeah. Now, aside from cooking, we spent our time gardening. And the fact that we were confined for 2-3 months helped us develop the garden better. In the foreground, I have Japanese maples. And in the background, you have the violet wisteria that we have chopped down because they were just getting to be unwieldy. And I wanted to show the beautiful old trunks, as these are very old wisteria vines. So I thought that it would be nicer to show the trunk and less of the flowers. Parang Japanese ang dating, you know. Yeah. I also have exuberant white wisteria, which I just let go and then they just cascade down. The garage, the car is behind, on top of that. Next. And of course, I have, this is a rose bush that was there when the house was when we bought the house. And I thought I'd take care of it. And it rewards me by giving me a lot of flowers. And this rose bush is never sick. I mean, it doesn't have disease. It doesn't have parasites. It just gives you a lot of flowers. One thing though, it's not perfect. It doesn't have perfume. But this is another rose bush beside it. This one is always sick. It has mildew, but it doesn't matter. It gives a lot of flowers. So I take care of it just the same. Next, please. And a close-up of my Japanese maple, taken in spring. Next. The wisteria, before we chop them up, not really chop them up, we pruned them nicely. I also have hydrangeas. This is a variety called Annabelle. And in front are what they call skyscraper lilies because they're quite tall. I don't really know their exact scientific name. Now, as I told you, I've been making jams, and on the property, we also I planted like 15 years ago, these prunes, and they are not only beautiful to look at, they're so sweet. And I make them into jams too and give them away. Sometimes the tree is just so full of fruit that the branches break. So I call our neighbors, you bring your basket and you harvest what you like. Okay, next. So aside from the fruits and the vegetables that I make into jams and preserves, I also grow orchids. That was one of my conditions of coming here to live in Limeuil, because I've never lived in a small village before. I told Mark, I have to have a greenhouse for my orchids. And so I have this Cattleya that I won in a raffle when we were still living in Hong Kong. And it's a Cattleya Portia. Next, please. Now, this is a strange flower. It's as big as my palm, and it's called Aristolochia gigantea. I saw it for the first time in Rome when we were attending the reunion, Sigma Delta Europe reunion there. And I said, I just have to have it. So I got it. And Ben Cab saw that, and he was ingit, and so I gave him a cutting. This is the same white hydrangea that is the variety called Annabelle. And since it was given to me by Nick and Veronica Hudson, I call this Annabelle Hudson. Next, please. Oh yeah, you saw my print workshop. This is one of the prints that I made of a December morning. And it's, of course, as you can see, it's the view of the river and the houses. And this is a view of the river with all the fog coming in, and that inspired me to do that. Okay, next. Aside from prints and paintings, I also do pottery. These were exhibited at the Benka Museum. I exhibited twice pottery, and it's fun to do. Most of, if not all of my pottery, are stoneware rather than porcelain or faience. I don't know what faience is in English, sorry. Another of my black glazed vessel. Next, please. A view of one bowl that is seen from the top. I make pottery that is functional. I don't do figures or things like that. My pottery work is utilitarian, and I do a lot of these Japanese winter tea vessels for winter. They're called yonomi, and it's easy to remember because yonomi, I know you. Now, you've seen the vestibule where there was a lot of ceramic vessels. So I have interpreted them in my works, and I think we can go through this easily. Now, these are old tables that we found in the house that I use, and I thought they were beautiful to do with the gourds that come out at the end of the summer. I think you also have a lot of those in the U.S. And I thought that since ceramics last practically forever, as our daughter, who's an archaeologist, says, I thought it would be a good contrast to those gourds that come out only at the end of summer, as if it's a statement on time. What is ephemeral and what is permanent. Another one. Now, since I'm Oriental, since I'm Asian, I cannot reject where I came from. So, and also, I use my flowers, my orchids, as models. So these are a mixture of our collection of Chinese ceramics and the orchids that keep blooming in my greenhouse. So again, the usual ephemeral and permanent. This is one orchid that I love, especially for its color. And I use it as a model for a painting which one sister bought. A painting. Never mind. I'll show it later. We'll see it later. Now, here are the orchids that keep blooming. And as they bloom, I hurry up and use them as models, because some of them last only a week, but others stay on for blooming for a month or more. Now, this is a close-up of an orchid, an American orchid from Florida that I used in one of my paintings. I'll show it later. Yeah. Oh, Lisa was intrigued by the title of this painting. It's called Tatlong Platong Bastos. Bastos because a ceramics collector told me they are everyday vulgar pottery, ceramics. They are not even porcelain. They're just blue and white that are interesting. So I thought I'd keep that name. It doesn't mean anything funny, but bastos in the sense that it is ordinary, vulgar. And of course, I may put them again with my orchids. Yeah, this one, this is the painting that I was referring to with that violet orchid, the photo of which was shown earlier. And I thought I'd play on the violet touches that are in there. This painting is now in Manila with assist Mian Oblea. Okay. This one is the orchid used here was the orchid that I cited earlier, that it's from Florida, and I used this green, what they call in Chinese pottery, famille verte, the family of greens, to contrast with the pink background. Another sister has this. Now this is a painting that is now in the museum in Iloilo. The inscriptions there, it's actually not Chinese, it's Vietnamese, the blue and white. It says something about to a good friend. And I thought it would look lovely with this twisted epidendrum, another orchid. Yeah, orchids and Chinese ceramics. Next. Yeah. This orchid I used as a model in an earlier painting that you must have seen. That's a Paphiopedilum, slipper orchid. Another slipper orchid with Chinese ceramics. You see, sometimes they grow bending towards the light, and I find that very graceful, especially with the leaves going this way and the flowers, the buds moving in another direction. Now the next slides are nothing but the orchids, for the pleasure of looking at orchids, if you are into orchids. Last na ba yan, Lisa?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay, that's it.
We're gonna ask everyone to go on gallery view so you can see each other, and use the reaction button to show our appreciation. Alam na nyo kung saan yung reaction button. So everybody, clap your hands virtually. Yay! We had a question from Bless. Where is Bless? Bless, you want to ask your question?
Bless is here. If we
Okay.
you, Ofie, how do we get there, since it seems
Hi.
like there are no cars on the road that you showed when you showed the city?
Well, it's a very small village, and I don't know if you saw the street. Our main street is narrow, so much so that many people who come here for the first time, because their GPS led them through this street, they're afraid, and the street curves and dips, and you don't even see the end.
Oh,
so
scary.
So they get scared. I think it's a feat to go down our main street in your car. And once there was an English guy who was hesitating, and Mark said, "If you give me 10 euros, I'll show you."
When we drove to Office place, we used our car. We drove, and then we parked the car. Remember, Ofie, you told us where to park the car. And then every morning we would just walk to buy bread at the local baker. We even attended your village celebration. Ano yun? May celebration, where they make wine in there. Yeah, they made local wine. They made local wine. We drank all the local wine. Chu got very drunk, And so, yeah, it was a fun evening with the locals. Nakihalo kami sa locals even if we didn't know how to speak French.
So fun.
Anybody who wants to share a story, raise your hand. Okay. Winky?
What I just wanted to say to Ofie, Annie and I enjoyed the visit at your place. It's beautiful, beautiful. And you and Mark were very good hosts and hostess. I enjoyed it very much.
Here, and we brought her to, she was here in the summer, and we brought her to many other village celebrations where you eat outside, you buy your food and things like that. Winky was here at the good season.
I don't remember what season did we come, Ofie. I don't remember, but it was, your house was beautiful. You and Mark were excellent hosts and hostess. I enjoyed it. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful house.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful house, and
beautiful host and hostess.
You remember?
Remarkable.
With Oops.
Yeah, we were here with
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, you came much earlier with Nora pa nung araw pa.
With Nora and Usupay.
Usupay, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, beautiful memories.
Yes, Ofie.
Excellent.
Sabi ni Bob Esguerra.
Has been here at least 2 times.
Ako, short. Bob Esguerra says he has to go to Limeuil and see you and Mark again at least one more time before he dies.
He's not going to kick the bucket soon.
After all this COVID, and we are allowed to go to Europe if we are not blacklisted.
Okay. Didi muna, and then Alice Sabalones. Okay.
Gusto ko lang sabihin kay Ofie. Ofie, dadating din ako dyan. I promise.
Siyempre.
Ako na lang ang hindi nakakarating. Can I also show and tell already now? Since I'm already there? Kasi I wanted to acknowledge yung 2015 na show ni Ofie dito sa New York. Wala ako dito.
Oo.
Pero inasikaso ko yung magagawa ko before I left. Pero si Malu and si B ang nag-asikaso talaga. Anyway, in addition to giving, donating a percentage of all the paintings that were sold, nag-iwan si Ofie ng 2 paintings. Yung isa, bigay niya talaga. Yung isa, ira-raffle sana namin. Pagkatapos, ang nangyari, naku, yung mga anak ko nagkakonsensya. So si Papat and si Paulo, at first we were already doing all of the raffle tickets, ganyan ni Malu. Pagkatapos, biglang nag-donate. Nag-donate ng more than enough what we wanted to raise. So yung isang painting went to Papat for her donation, and the other painting went to Paulo, our youngest, for his donation. Ito yun. Ito yung nandito. Kaya hindi mo alam na nasa akin ito, Ofie. Okay? Pagkatapos, I want to show my favorite one. I don't know if you can see. Ang tawag ni Ofie dyan, double happiness. Ayun sa taas. Pagkatapos, and then yung Madonna and Child. But the very first one that I got was a self-portrait of Ofie, which you can see here. Naalala mo yan, Ofie? How long ago was that? Hindi
I don't
remember. Hindi ko na din naaalala. Pero anyway, yan ang akin. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Self-portrait. Yeah, I saw it.
Next is Alice Sabalones.
My question, Ofie, is that you said that you have 2 houses?
Yeah.
So you live in which house?
Right now, we're living in the small house because, as I mentioned, we had a water damage. The roof leaked a bit last autumn. But normally, when the kids are here, we stay in the big house because to be with the kids. And this small house, which has only 1 bedroom, is out for her on holiday rentals.
So you Airbnb it?
It's not a B&B. It's a holiday rental. They come, they take care of themselves. There's everything in the house. Because B&B means you serve them
Yeah.
breakfast. We don't.
No, I thought it was part of Airbnb. It's not part of.
It's not on Airbnb. It's on HomeAway.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so now we'll do show and tell. For those who have tequi, please get it ready and we'll share. So let me start by sharing what I have. I bought this in New York. I think it was 2003, if that was the right date. And we had just come back from Europe, and actually Chug saw this being painted. Yeah. In office. She was working on that. You were working on this. I fell in love with, I fell in love with it the minute I saw it. And it's actually, if you notice, the poster for the invitation for this coffee with Ofie, because I love it so much, and Ian played with it, and so it became the Manila and US invitation. So thank you, Ofie. I see you every day here. I put that also in my office. Pero Ofie, you forgot the name of this painting, ano? Oh, yeah. Ofie doesn't remember the name of this painting. So lalagyan na lang natin ng pangalan, Ofie. Give me a name na lang so that I can.
Dalawang platong bastos.
Yun na nga sasabihin ko. Dalawang bastos.
Sopang bastos.
Okay. All right. So,
wait, Lisa. Yung bang mga the bonsai behind that, is that Ficus religiosa? It must be.
I don't know.
Religiosa is the ficus where Buddha was.
All right. Malu, you want to say something?
I'll show some of the prints and paintings of Ofie. And one probably she's not even aware of that I have, which Nell had it for many years, but we didn't know who was the printer, and it turned out to be Ben Cobb and her having this print. So I'd like to show it, okay? Can you see it?
Which one? The red or the blue? The
Yeah,
blue one?
the red. This one. I'm having Nell point it because it's on the wall.
Can you see it? Ayan.
Ayan. Nakita mo ito?
Yung parang dieta.
That one, okay. There.
Ofie, that's Ben Cobb and you.
Really? No.
Yeah,
it says there.
It's a print.
Yeah, it's a print. It must be Ben Cobb. But I don't.
Your name is also there.
Maybe I printed it for him, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Because it puts the name there is Ben Cobb and Ofie.
The title is.
What's the title? You cannot read it.
Coconut ano yan eh?
I'll read the title, okay?
Daming painting si Malu.
Ang dami kasi every time ito mga mother and child, and then there's this one. Mother and child pa rin yan eh.
That's all Ofie. Yeah.
All Offies. One wall is full of Office paintings from her prints. And then I don't have it here because my house is small. You had tahanan before Ofie that was like windows. And then I even had a collage, but I don't know where they are now. And then this one was when you had paintings.
That's one of my earliest shows sa New York.
Yeah. Pati ito, meron ka nitong series nito that baby has. Mother and child. I don't know, you called it something.
No, that was after girls' names. Asuncion. No, Anunciación, Presentación, Natividad.
Yes, that's right. Presentación, and then saan pa ba? They're all over the place. Anyway, those are what I have right now in my wall. And some of them are in storage because I don't have walls anymore to put most of the paintings.
I know what you mean, Malu.
Wala na akong,
I don't have
I
walls
cannot buy
either.
paintings anymore because wala na akong paglagyan.
But get a bigger house.
Huh?
Get a bigger house.
Oh, no more. We're quite happy where we are right now. It's not really small. It's 900 something square feet for a 1-bedroom condo. And my daughter and son-in-law owns it. So we pay rent, but we tell them not to increase the rent. It has to be fixed or we leave the house. But anyway, so we're happy where we are. Ofie, that was a nice show of your place. And Nora would always tell me, Malu, you should go and visit. I don't know if I'll get a chance to do that at this time.
You will.
I don't know when I can even start traveling again without getting scared.
No, that's the case for everybody.
Yeah.
Travel is not in the immediate future.
I know. Who would ever think we'll pass through this? Who would ever think? Na mga lakwachera tayo, all of a sudden, we're all caught at home. Ay, drives me nuts. Ask Didi. I deliver groceries in the city just to get out of the house.
Yan ang tinatawag na sisterhood. Pag wala na akong gas, nagdadala si Malu.
Grocery. Tapos magde-deliver pa ng pagkain kay B. Kaya sabi ni Baby, Good Samaritan. And all the time I thought it was a telenovela na Korean. Good Samaritan. Yung pala ako yun.
Question. Naalala ko bigla, Ofie.
Yeah.
Gaano kalayo sa inyo yung Lascaux Caves? I remember you brought us to the Lascaux Cave to see the paintings.
Yeah.
How far is that from you?
17 kilometers.
Okay. I just suddenly remembered.
Yeah. If
one of the things we did.
Yeah. If Bobby goes to Santander, that's not far from the Altamira Caves. Kami naman ang pupunta.
Altamira. Okay. Yep. Sige.
Sige. Date din yan.
Hi,
So,
Grande.
what do your
Hi,
grandchildren? What do your grandchildren call you?
Lola. Lola. It's more glamorous in French. Lola, can I get you? Oh, diba?
Yes, but I'm not Lolo.
Mark,
Ano ka?
So, what do they call you, Mark?
Grandpapa. Because in French slang, Lolo means boobs.
It's not papi? Papi?
I don't want to be called boobs.
It's derived from milk, you see? Lolo.
Hindi ba titong?
Ano?
Titong?
No, Grandpapa.
Ang breast.
No, Nishong is the nipple. You're teaching our sisters funny French names, huh?
Body parts are allowed. Okay.
Okay.
So some people are asking, Ofie, if some of your prints are still available or some of your paintings.
Yes,
so,
they are.
How can they access that?
Go to my website and then ask me because I may have them here or in Manila.
Okay. All right. And then when is your next exhibit? So you have one at the CCP. Isn't there a book that you're working or a compilation of your art also? Is there anything like that?
I don't want the book written about me. But I'm having the works in the CCP documented. So I have pictures. It's Wig Tysmans who's doing the the photographs.
Okay.
Ofie, can I share two of my Ofie paintings with everybody?
Of course. Go ahead.
Okay. Tingnan ko kung mapakita ko. Okay. Let me see. One of them has your jars.
Yeah.
This
Yun.
one.
You know, wait, let me say something. You know what? There's one particular gourd that I put there. It's green and white, and it goes with the green and white of the jars. Because I told Bobby, Tagalasal ka, di ba?
Kaya green and white. Okay.
Green and white.
Okay.
The question is, what's the website?
Gelvezon-Tequi, one word.com. HTTPS /Gelvezon-Tequi, one word.com.
Ito yung isa, Ofie.
Yeah.
Yan.
That one is the allegory of good government.
So where did you get this, Grande? When?
From when? This was dated 1990. Matagal na. I don't remember where.
Okay.
I think, Ofie, you sent it to us by mail. Nakaroll sa isang tube.
Who else wants to share? Fe.
Papakita ko kay Ofie yung ano niya yung binigay niya sa akin na ano niya. Ofie, remember this?
Yeah.
Pinadala mo ito kay Beatrice and Alexi when they stayed here in Vancouver for 1 year.
Correct.
Yeah.
May dedication pa yan.
Oh, that's from Vietnam.
Vietnam. Oh, okay.
Halong Bay,
Halong Bay. Yes.
Oh, Halong
And
Bay.
then I have this. I bought this when I was in Manila. It's called Mirror.
You know what?
Wow.
That is the reflection of our apartment in Paris when I was in Rome when I was studying there. So that's
okay. So, I know that the story. And then this is one of the it's a Christmas card that you sent me, and I framed it because it's too good not to be preserved.
Yeah, it's
mother and child.
Mother and child, but if you look, when I do those mother and child which I call natividad, you look at what the angels are doing. They're either all playing a musical instrument, or they all have pets, or they all have, basta lahat ng angels around are doing one thing that is related to the to the main figure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they all have musical instruments, no? Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and there's one piece. This is the souvenir that I bought in the only gift shop you have in Limeuil.
Talaga?
The picture of and it with the rooster, and I just use it for nalagyan ko ng butter dish. Yeah.
Well, don't break it. Wala na ganyan.
Wala, kaya nga. Well kept yan. Maingat. Yeah. So anyway, 2 times kaming nagpunta kay Ofie. The second time
there was one time kasama mo si Tewing, di ba?
Tewing, the first time. And then the second time, nag-drive kami nila Meng from Paris. Then we almost ran out of gas. With
Yaying, Yogi, and Melanie.
Muntik na kaming maubusan ng gas. It was a Sunday and they were closed. Paalala kay Yogi because she was driving. Meron pang gas. Tapos, nakakita kami ng isa. They would not accept any of our credit cards except, I don't know whose credit card was that. And then we got lost. So Mark had to drive all the way from Limeuil. I think we were halfway. I don't know where we were to meet us kasi hindi kami makakadating sa Limeuil. Yeah, but it was fun. Yeah.
Oh, this was mabait si Mark eh.
Oh, kaya nga eh. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was our experience. Yeah.
So, all right. Okay. Thank you, Fe. Anybody else for show and tell?
Hi.
Question?
Here, I'll share what.
Don't be shy.
Pilar,
It's me.
Pilar asked that if I cannot say which is available and which is not, but if you say what you prefer, then maybe I can find out if it's in Manila or what. I read what Pilar Sandejas asked.
Okay. All right. I thought I heard someone. Cora. Okay.
That's Cora Ago. I just want to share this print that Ofie kindly gifted us with.
Tony's Garden.
That's
Tony's Garden. You remember it? I took it off the frame kasi mabigat yung frame. But here, I think this is a better. But anyway, here it is.
Yes, I know.
With dedication. Thank you so much.
What?
Homage, the homage.
No, that's Tony's number one. Yeah, Tony Padilla, who's a good friend. He has an orchid garden on top of his of the roof of his house before, but he's now moved to
San Lorenzo.
No, to Bel Air.
Bel Air, yeah, Bel Air.
But that's the series of 7 works.
Oh, I'm honored to have one of them, Here it is, Tony's Garden.
Yeah.
I took it off the frame because the frame was a little heavy and I wouldn't be able to hold it for the sis to see.
Pasoli mo kay Sani.
Actually, your dedication reads, included Brad Sani. And then I have a collection of these cards. You call it Anunciación here.
Yeah. That's Anunciación.
Yes.
Yeah. May presentasyon, may natividad, Kasi we also use the Feast of the Virgin as first names. That's why I thought of making that series.
I never saw any of the other on this series, I'll go to your website and see.
Yeah, look under Virgins.
Yes. Well, thank you, Ofie. Thank you very much.
Kamusta kay Sani?
Yes, I will. He's outside and I told him huwag kang manggugulo.
Pag Brad pwede.
Pareho sabi ko kay Chug, huwag ka magulo, huwag ka maingay. Okay. Thank
Lisa,
you.
I don't have a painting, but I have cards.
Okay, go ahead, Mila.
Ano lang yan, yung cards. Ang dami ng cards. Nuestra Señora de la Leche.
Yeah.
No, because she's
breastfeeding.
Ito, Barangay Madonna.
Yeah. This was at the series of Madonna that I made for a show in Mega Mall. I forgot the name of the gallery. The small one. Anyway, Panay Virgins ang nandyan. And
I have this also.
Okay.
1997.
Yeah.
Dito 2014 ito.
Yeah. Sabi sa akin ni Phil, meron daw siyang room na panay na trabaho ko.
Ano?
Sabi ni Phil, meron daw siyang room na panay trabaho ko.
Probably.
Yes. Pinakita sa amin, Ofie.
Diba may binili? Oh, yeah.
Yes. This is my Ofie room.
I should have invited him.
Ang tawag niya, this is my Ofie room. Lahat ng paintings mo nasa kanya, nandun.
I'd like to see what he did with it.
Okay.
If he wants to be awake at 1 o'clock Eastern time, we have another session with the Manila sisters later.
I'll tell him because he sleeps very late and wakes up very late. So I'll tell him today, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's you can give him the password. He's welcome to join. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, our grand archon, yay!
No, Mila is batch 63.
Batch 63. The best.
No. Batch
Kasi
ni
mahina ka sumampal eh.
Batch 63. Yes.
Yung sampal mo,
Batch ng magagaling.
hindi malakas.
Siyempre.
Ophelia, the best.
No, batch 63. Didi.
Batch 63.
Yay!
Nakakahiya kayo, batch conscious.
Ang dami namin, ano?
Ganyan talaga, pero hindi kami as batch conscious as batch 61. Yan ang batch conscious.
Oo, talaga.
Ofie, you live in a paradise. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you should come and visit one day.
Sayang eh.
You know,
Civic is-
Mila, there
Yeah.
is a flight from Luxembourg on Ryanair to go to Toulouse. Toulouse is very near us.
Oh, Toulouse? Sa baba?
Yeah.
Sa Bordeaux.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I know where that is. Yeah.
Luxembourg, Toulouse.
Yeah, that's right.
On Ryanair. Mura ang Ryanair.
Somebody invited us to Toulouse, so.
Oh, ayun. Sige. You might as well. Tapos punta kayo dito or sunduin ka namin dyan.
Sayang si Vic. Wow.
Planuhin nyo.
Okay.
But Vic will be
Pero
with us.
I know it's gonna be 2022 or beyond. Next year, I doubt it.
Yeah,
You know.
we'll wait and see. Wait and see. Wait and see for everybody.
Yeah. So, tapos the young ones are not even being responsible, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you, Mila.
Thanks to Zoom.
Buti na lang may Zoom. Nagkikita-kita tayo kahit
Yeah, we see more than we don't, than the, you know, new normal.
Okay, who else wants to share anything? Raise your hand or make kwento or make your reservation to Limeuil.
Can you guys see this?
No.
Yeah. Wow!
Ito yung this is 1971.
I know.
Philippine
Grand
Grand Derby. This was this is one of two large prints that we have. Yung isa, yung Target.
You have wow.
Quite rare according to Ofie.
Yeah.
Pero nandun sa nakarolyo and it's not in good shape. But I plan to take care of it, restore it. Second one is
si Allegory.
ito yung homage to Ambrosio Lorenzetti.
Yeah, it's actually an
Pero
allegory.
this is different from the triptych that you're sending to me, no?
This is the first one.
Partner.
This is the first one. It's an allegory of justice. And the five guys there were the ones who shot Ninoy.
Yes. So, ko na lang, I'll have to relate it to that triptych that you're going to send.
Yeah, because that one, the image of the justice is also derived from the same fresco of Lorenzetti. That's why.
And there's
1979 curtains.
79 curtains.
Yeah, it's the house of my lolo in Paco.
And there's like two more of that genre, of that age. I mean that date. And then Gigi has her own.
I have my Natividad.
Yeah. That's our dog, Walter.
I just love it. Was Walter the dog that you had at your Paris flat?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, he's the one who upset one of your porcelain plates, I think, and you got so mad at him. I felt bad for the dog, but you know what? The cantaloupe that you served there, the meal that you set for us on the two occasions that we went to France, they were unforgettable, Ofie. Maraming salamat.
Anyway,
Thank you for hosting us too.
That in that Natividad thing, the angels are related to is in the middle. So if there's Walter the dog, look at the angels, they all are carrying pets.
Correct. Correct. And I just love it because we are pet lovers. And you know what? We have two grandsons, the twin boys who are
cannot hear you.
Almost 3. Yeah, so I think I'm going to need another one of this. So yeah, we'll arrange that later.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Ofie.
Okay, thank you, Ren. See you.
We have Faye. Faye is raising her hand.
Ofie, you forgot to mention, dinala mo kami sa sementeryo. Sa sementeryo ng Limeuil.
Yeah, but that was the St. Martin's for the Richard the Lion-Hearted Chapel.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I remember.
Because around it is the cementerio.
Lisa, I wanted to just show something.
Okay. Yes.
Because I was just curious. So, Ofie, what is the relationship of the angels in this picture?
Well, they're all playing instruments, no?
They're holding.
What are they holding? I cannot see well.
Non, on peut voir.
Or they're all holding toys? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they look like toys. They look like toys.
Toys.
Yeah.
Could be because
Mga rattles.
It's Natividad.
Yeah, but they're all natividads have
babies.
Yeah.
But I also want to share the Christmas card you sent me. I framed it because it looks so pretty.
It's a Nuestra Señora del Rosario, and if you look at on her skirt, the ovals are the 5 mysteries of light.
Oh, okay.
Mysteries of light. The marriage at Cana, the baptism of Christ, etc., etc.
I just noticed it now when you mentioned it. You're right.
It's not just decorative. When I put something, it has to relate to the whole thing. It will mean something. Since that's Del Rosario, I made this when Pope John Paul II instituted the new mysteries of light, which comes every Thursday.
Okay. I just wanted to share with the sisters that I was able to get some prints from Ofie because I frequently join the European reunions.
Yeah, when you were you were in Strasbourg.
I think this was Porto.
Porto ba?
Porto or no, France.
Strasbourg. I remember the photo of you in front of the cathedral na nakapose ka pang ganon.
Wherever it was, we were in that the breakfast that we were having in this quaint restaurant outdoors, al fresco. So, but Evelyn and I were just chatting by text during this session, and we were both saying we want a painting. We just have prints. Anyway, we'll look at your site and see what's available.
Okay.
All right. So what can we expect from you, Ofie, by way of your artwork, like in the next decade or so?
Don't know. Maybe I was thinking of doing a series of new prints, but I have to have time. Even with the confinement, time is not enough. Laging may kulang. Diba? Right now, the social obligations have been cut down. You know, hindi ka masyado nagsososyal, hindi ka masyado lumalabas, but still time is Did you read what people say? I saw this in the internet and I found it. It's at the same time stupid, but at the same time true. Life is like toilet paper. It goes faster as you get near the end.
They ended with us.
Oh. That's funny.
Exit. What's his name?
Okay.
Huh?
Chug.
Ito si
Exit.
Chug, Mark. Oo.
Chug, chug, chug. Mark is saying he likes it at the end.
Okay, baka meron pang gusto magsalita.
I want to say something. I'm very impressed.
Okay.
I'm very impressed with Mark's Tagalog.
Mark speaks Tagalog. He can even sword speak.
Oh my God, he probably speaks better than me.
Yeah, because when I'm cross, he will say, "Im ang view."
Shame on you, Alice.
I know.
Alice.
Hoy, ako hindi. Marunong na
Mark
ako.
speaks better Tagalog than you do.
Hindi, marunong na ako. Marunong na ako.
Yeah, Alice, speak Tagalog.
Magaling mag-Tagalog sa atin yan.
We got a gay friend, so he picks up "Im ang view." Anong say mo? Wakutay.
Wow. Ang galing. Thank
You are gay.
Hindi si Melvin.
He's a better comic than Ofie.
Yung mga scenes na...
I said he's a better comic than Ofie in Tagalog.
Yeah, he picks up a lot of Tagalog because we have a lot of Filipino.
Oh, nakakatawa si Mark mag-Tagalog, especially yung kanyang sword Tagalog.
Ofie, these two prints are from your Santos collection. You remember?
Yeah, they are. The first one is the first horseman of the apocalypse, and the second one is exterminating angel.
Yes.
Baby.
Those were the yeah. I bought them during one of your exhibits here.
Wow.
Yeah. I was telling them, Ofie.
Yeah.
I was telling them, Ofie, that 7 Natividad prints are in your cultural center exhibit, but I haven't seen them. They have extended the exhibit, but until now we cannot go to museums or art exhibits. So, but they said they are going to prepare a digital exhibit for you.
That's they are. By the way, they're going to return the your Natividad prints soon, at maybe beginning of July. I'll let you know once it's in Pasig, okay?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Thank you for lending them.
Thank you.
Ofie, next we have Nora de la Serna.
Okay. The painting I'm showing you, fortunately, was the last painting, or the last show that Sigma Delta is sponsored in New York. And this particular painting was used by Ofie to print out the invitations. So when I saw it, I fell in love with it, and I insisted. Nag-seniority ko silang lahat. Sabi ko na kailangan that particular painting should be mine. So, which they agreed. So this is how I got hold of this painting. Although I have several of Ophelia's painting, I think most of you who have visited me here in Davao will remember that I have one wall of all of Ophelia's paintings.
Wow.
And upstairs, I have prints. Because, you know naman, Ofie was my time. So, we were together in UP. So, nagkaabutan kami sa UP na.
We're always together, period. Ayan yung cigarette body.
Oh, cigarette body ko pa si Mark. Oh, you know, kami na lang naiiwan sa cigarette bodies.
I always tell people that Nora can give Mark pleasure that I cannot give.
That's true, and I wholly agree. Whatever that means. Well, anyway, that's it. But I'm very, very happy with this because Ophelia, you made several of this mother and child painting for that show. Did you not? Diba?
Yeah.
Thank you, Nora.
The one you have is a particularly happy one.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh. And I like the colors. It's red.
Yeah. Hi, Iris.
Hi, sisters. I am very proud to have been able to buy one oil painting of our sister at the Crucible when she exhibited at Mega Mall. That was, I think, in 2015. And I was only able to buy one painting because medyo, I didn't have money at that time. Sisters,
there's the same mother and child.
This is actually Sleeping Child 3.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, oh?
Yeah.
That's it. That was the only thing I was able to buy.
Thank you, Iris.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Iris.
You're welcome, sisters.
Okay, Bebeng.
Mark, it's Bebeng.
Yeah, yes. I'm going to show two paintings. This one, I fell in love with it because it is the Lady of Manawag there. And all these men kneeling in front of that. And these are the ones made in Bohol. So I fell in love with that. And now I'm going to show you another painting. Okay, yes.
Who's that, Nino?
Hello. Nino, that's Nino.
Hello. Hi, Arek.
Kaya ano, wait, sige. This one, I really love this coffee.
It's very heavy. That's the silk.
The silk painting.
Yeah, silk.
Wow. You
Yes.
know, my silk paintings are very rare.
Yeah, and I bought that from Lou's gallery. I'm the first one who bought a painting like that.
Nice.
And
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's with you.
Yeah. I also, if you remember, I discovered a 1973 Natividad series. I got 5 of them, and I had already, my son Noel already had it framed. So and then I discovered something also. Ang dami. Ngayon, but I am so proud of this painting.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, my silk paintings are quite rare because I only did not too many and for a short time.
And this one is good condition, huh?
Yeah, it's very good condition, pati. Yeah.
Because it's kind of fragile.
Yeah.
And your people the people from CCP asked me, but I was traveling to Paris, and when I came back, I was so pagod na, so I wasn't able to give some of the things.
They would have loved to show this.
Yeah. It would have been yeah.
They said that they're making a book for you, and if they would want to show the painting, they will include it in the book.
Yeah, no, they're making a catalog of the exhibit, and they will, I think they want to include that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Bebeng.
Thank you also.
Thank you. Next we have Evelyn Alipin.
Okay.
I have to bring up this so that you can see, okay? Ofie, these are the two ones that I have, and which you, I think you reconstructed, or you made some kind of...
I retouched them because I noticed that they were not, the paint was not in good condition. So it's about,
I got them from Vita Sarenas during your finale exhibit.
Okay, yeah.
In fact, there are only 2 paintings displayed in my in this unit, in one of our units, where sisters come for fellowship. These are the only paintings that I placed here in the condo. Okay, And then I also have your 7 Natividad series. I placed in one corner in my Tagaytay house.
Ah, you have the complete 7.
Yeah,
Good.
I have complete set too.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
placed it in one corner of the house. Okay. Anyway, that's it. I have 2, and then I have 7 of your works.
Evelyn. All right, next we have Meng. Fine.
Hi, sisters.
You're on,
I
Meng.
think, okay, what I'd like everybody to know is what you should know. Ofie was one of the original print artists in Manila. And I started collecting her prints in the 70s. And one of them, I think, which Ofie may want to reminisce, is their ancestral home in Gimbal, in Iloilo.
Yeah.
It's called the ground floor. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that correct, Ofie? It's
yes,
Lucas house in Iloilo?
No, the Gelvezon
Correct?
house.
Gelvezon. All right. Okay. And
In
then
Gimbal.
behind me, I also have in Gimbal.
Yeah.
Behind me, I have the commentary on a couple Apocalypse, and the kapatid of this one is still at the CCP, yung Quilpin Grand Derby.
Yeah, Meng, they will return it soon, so I will ask Claude to pick it up from the house.
Yes, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I got an email. They said sometime in July.
Yeah. I'll let you know once it's in Pasig.
All right. Okay, sige. Okay. I cannot bring the rest of the works here, but you said only 2. So I'm only showing 2 of the prints of Ofie when she was at the height of the print making industry in Manila. Okay, that's it.
Meng,
Hi, Mark.
If you have another 1 or 2, we'll go ahead. We still have some time. Do you have another
No, I
one?
have them in the yeah, but I have them in the other rooms. I have to run along and get them.
All right.
So this is all for now.
All right. Thank you, Meng.
Okay, thank you, Lisa.
Can I say something? Meng is probably the champion visitor of Limeuil. She's been here siguro 8 times. She was my very, very first sis to come here when we moved back from Hong Kong, and that was way back in '94. And she came alone. And she was even able to drive Mark's old Volvo. You remember?
Yes, yes. And I mean, they were unloading the refrigerator, remember? Westinghouse or a Whirlpool, whatever. It was so monstrous, it didn't fit in the house. It's still there.
Meng is my first visitor. My very first. And champion kasi pabalik-balik. How many times na, Meng? Mga 8 times na siguro, no?
Siguro, mga ganun nga. Oo. That's correct.
Why don't you go up at least to 12?
I will do that. Don't worry. I'll get to that.
Okay.
As soon as the lockdown's lifted. As soon as we can start traveling.
Yes.
Thank
you, Meng.
Okay.
All right. We have Annie now. Annie? Hi, Annie.
Hi. This painting, I bought it from Pinto Museum. When a friend of mine invited me to visit, to go to your exhibition there, Ofie. And I remember there were 2 similar paintings that was on display. And I preferred the other one. But this was the one that wasn't reserved yet. So I said, okay, I'm getting this. But if that gets into the market, let me know. Then what's particularly interesting about this painting is that, and I will digress a little bit into a sister stories. That particular, it was a December period. I remember taking dinner at M Cafe in a restaurant beside the Ayala Museum in Makati. And during one of the meal breaks, I was looking over, they have a store there that was selling some, stationaries or a little bit of art things. So I was there looking around, I really didn't have much to do. And then there was this lady at the other side of the table that I was looking at. And I looked at her and then she looked at me. Nagkatitigan kami. Parang lukso ng dugo. I asked her, guess what? She is a Sigma Delta. Si Cynthia Henson. And she was visiting in Manila at that time. And doon kami nagkita. And it was around this period. Then when I went to this art exhibit at Pinto Museum, the first painting that I wanted to order, to buy, guess who reserved it? Si
Cynthia Henson.
That was my goodness. I know that particular time that Cynthia was here, I must have met her another time. I was in Green Hills having dinner with my cousins. Then I decided to go to Fitness First for the toilet, to use the toilet in Green Hills. Guess who was getting out of the Fitness First gym at the door?
Cynthia Henson.
We bumped into each other. I got to know her in sa M Cafe. I bumped into her at Fitness First, and we were pinag-aagawan namin yung isang painting na ganito at Pinto Museum. That makes this particular painting really quite memorable. Thank you for that. And it says a gabi. Gabi ba yan, Ofie?
No, it's an orchid. It's a kwan. It's a Swatoglotis Vanderbergi. Sorry for but it's a Philippine orchid.
I see. But anyway, see, this painting has a beautiful story, sorority cis story, other than the fact that the artist is a cis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ren. Good story.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Hi, Ofie. Okay, I'm going to show you a painting that was given to me by a friend. Ofie and I have a mutual friend, Marnie Ocampo.
Yeah.
She gifted this to me on my birthday last year. And this is a mother and child painting of Ofie's. I think this one is in 1995.
Nice.
And then just a week. So I really like this painting because last year I found out I was going to be a grandmother for the first time. And I am going to gift this to my daughter who gave my first apo. So he's a boy.
Not Nicole?
No, not Nicole. This is Paula, the second girl. Nicole, Ofie, you met in New York.
I met Nicole in New York.
In New York, yeah. She went to your show. Nicole got the other one. So Marnie unloaded it. And Nicole's going to take a photo of the painting for you, and she'll send it to me, and then I'll take a good photo of this too. And then I'm going to send them to you so you have them for your collection.
Yes, thank you.
Marnie unloaded the other one, goodness, not even 2 weeks ago. And I didn't know about this talk. And I'm glad, I was reading through the emails and the text messages, and Evelyn Lee informed me of it. So I have the other one. The other one is the mother was breastfeeding a child. So that one,
I've seen it.
Yeah, that one, Ofie, is with Nicole. I hope it inspires her to have a child, although she tells me she has no. Nicole works for Christie's now. She's a photographer at Christie's, so some of her photos have come up, at the Paris book for the auction houses. And our mutual friend Marnie, I also purchased a few of those Afghani chests. So I have a few here in the house. And I've been planning to go forever to your place. If you recall, a few years ago, we were planning to do it, and then something came up. But your town shows up in one of the prettiest towns, I think, in all of France. So I'm always there, but typically in the south of France around the fall. But I go in such short bursts. But I want to see your town, and I want to see your garden. And thank you for doing
The
this for
garden,
us.
the best time is spring, but otherwise any season is good.
Yeah, for the flowers in the spring. But I suppose you know your region is very good for the truffles and the food and all that. But
The truffles is
in the
from
fall.
December to March.
Yeah. So I plan to do that, and I still hope to. I think we met each other once in New York, I think in 2005 or something like that, many years ago. But I'd love to see you again, and as you said, eyeball each other. Thank you for doing this, Ofie.
See you. Don't
See
talk
you.
to me in Kapampangan, because I don't.
Oh, no, I'm not going to talk to you in Kapampangan. I don't think you're Kapampangan, but our mutual friends are Kapampangan.
I only know a few things. Di ba, Meng?
All right, thank you. Anybody else? I just want to make sure that we didn't miss anyone. Please just write in the chat if you want to share some more paintings or prints of Ofie. But that was great, Ofie. Anything else, Ofie, you want to share before we take our picture?
Well, I thank the California sisters for staying up late to organize this, because it's really fun. It's fun and nice to see really good friends again, not just sisters. Yeah, more than that.
You know, the sisters were saying that the place is beautiful. It is. The house is beautiful. It is. But what I will never forget is the hospitality of Ofie and Mark. It's outstanding. The food, the wine, the walking around the village. And I asked Mark to give a French history to our daughters. And so we even had French history, anything you want to know. It was just an outstanding visit. So, Ofie, you can hire me as your marketing person, because I can really say how much we enjoyed our trip in Limeuil. And the simplicity, of course, Chug never forgot the foie gras. Up to now, he's still bothering me about the foie gras and how delicious it is. But, you know, Julie,
foie gras pan fried or cold or what? How?
He went to the farm. I think we went to the farm, and so he really enjoyed the visit to the farm and to see how it's processed. And we just like to put it on bread. That's it. Yeah, like to eat it on bread.
You mean like this?
Yeah. And we bought several when we were there.
I made this.
Yeah.
If you come, I'll let you taste it.
Hi.
And the confit, the duck confit, Ofie. That's unforgettable.
Yeah.
Diba, you made it too?
Duck confit is a classic. It's a classic.
Oh. By you or by Mark? I don't know which.
No, I don't make anymore. It's too, we can buy na lang outside.
Unforgettable.
I really like walking to the baker in the morning and buying bread. And then the glass blower. Is the glass blower still there? You have a local glass blower. I bought some glass.
Still there.
And then what I really enjoy, our world is so busy. It's so hectic. The high density in large cities, especially in Manila, New York, but your city has been preserved. You have no COVID cases, diba? The last time we talked, totoo ba yan? No COVID cases.
Yeah. Actually, the region
is very low.
It's very low. Also, because we're all separated from each other. And there's no contact. There's no ano. What we're afraid of is when the tourists come and they'll bring the virus with them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so in this world where it's just so busy, so hectic, and people are right next to each other, to see your village visually and to hear you speak about it really comes to life. The joy of living is what I can just think of. It's just like enjoying the fruits that you have planted, the beauty of the flowers, and making them come to life through your paintings. So this is indeed a true honor. Thank you so much for joining us, Ofie.
Ofie, let's organize one of the European, reunions in your town, Limeuil. It's so pretty. I think I would be there. I will definitely be there if you do that.
No, there's a lot to see. There's a lot to see here.
Yeah, like we always do. You do the European reunions, right? So let's do one in your home. That would be great. I mean, like in your hometown, and we could organize that, and a lot of sisters can come.
They vote.
That would be nice.
The European reunion, they vote where it will be the next time. So I cannot dictate na dito.
After the next one, we can do that. Yeah.
The next one is in Bucharest in 2020.
Yeah, Bucharest. Then after the Bucharest, we can do one yours. That would be good.
We already had France, which was in Strasbourg.
Oh, you did.
I don't know if
I've been to France, but never been to your home. It's so beautiful. I mean, what I've seen now, it's so good. Yeah.
We're off the beaten track, that's why. So not too many people pass through here.
Okay.
Oh,
then I'll just visit you.
Only one thing. Walang shopping dito. Wala kang masya-shop dito.
Hindi ako mahilig mag-shopping. It's just so pretty. The place is so pretty.
We're gonna have picture taking. Tanya, are you our photographer?
Lapit-lapit ka na kaunti.
Sige.
It's Terry. Terry's taking the pictures.
Okay, Terry is our photographer. Make sure you're inside the frame and you're looking at your camera. You're not looking down. Look at your camera. Okay, ready?
Okay, freeze for a little bit, okay?
Lapit-lapit.
1, 2, 3. I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We want to say special thanks to Margie. Margie, okay, so if you like the ama namin that was shared at the final, right?
Yes,
Margie,
that was beautiful.
Clap,
Beautiful,
clap, clap.
Margie. Thank you.
I think we have a couple of members of the choir on here. Jin Maronilia Peters, batch 89 is on, and Ate Terry Templo Vicencio in batch 86 is on as well.
It's very
That
nice.
was really good. Very good.
Thank you.
It's very hard to coax Jean to sing, huh?
It is? No, but it was really, everybody was doing it for Tita Cota.
Okay.
Go na tayo talaga.
Go na.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Till next time.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye.
Thank you,
Ofie,
Lisa.
thank you
Yes.
for showing your Lisa.
Beautiful home. Thanks for
Lisa,
sharing
thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
Great job, Lisa.
So if you want to see everyone, you go on gallery view and you're going to be able to see everyone. I would ask you, sisters, even if it's 1 a.m., just wake up a little bit so we can have picture taking for those who are in California. O sige, ayos muna ng mga buhok. Ayan. Okay. So, hello everyone. It's so nice to see everyone's pictures.
How come I'm spotlighted?
Naka-spotlight ka pa ba? Tanggalin ko na yung spotlight mo. Alright, let's take a picture. Ang ating photographer si Rona at saka si Pilar. Alright.
Okay, request nobody talks. That way nobody gets spotlighted. Okay, go.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. Okay. I hope we got everybody. We had great attendance today. We had about 65 people, sisters join in. So thank you so much. Mostly this is the Manila group, but we have some East Coast sisters like Babes Peters, who also joined from Pennsylvania. I saw her kanina. Thank you so much, Ofie. This was every time we listen to you share your home, your art, we always get inspired, and we now want to travel. I know all of us are homebound, but Chug and I were fortunate that we were able to visit Ofie and Mark, and we had such a great time. It was an unforgettable visit. I'm sure those of you who've been there will say the same. So hope we can see each other soon. You know, when we get to Manila, kasi we're so excited not to travel, we should all get together and do one big at home. But in the meantime, we'll just continue to do our virtual at homes. Ofie, you want to say your last goodbye to everyone before we...
Yes, first I would like to thank you, first of all, especially the sisters who are staying up late and who organized this, and people sisters who have such talent in technology to make this really reunion possible. It's very heartwarming. Very nice, very nice. I must admit I did a lot of work, since I'm not used to this sort of thing, to prepare this, but I think it was worth all the effort. Really, really nice, really nice. So since you know the way to get here, just let me know. Si Pilar was saying, why don't we have a reunion, Sigma Delta reunion in the Dordon? Why not? There's a lot to see. But as I said, there's only one setback. Walang shopping.
Pero when I was there, Ofie, I bought glasses. Diba? You had a glass blower, so I bought glasses. I bought some really nice things. And of course, Chug loves the foie gras, so that was unforgettable.
The glass blower here is different. He doesn't make utilitarian things like the glasses you bought. He's now into unique pieces, which I don't know. I prefer the utilitarian, the guy who used to do it before.
Yeah. All right. So sisters, use the chat because we're going to download the chat and we're going to give Ofie a copy. And thank you so much for joining in. We'll see you soon at the next virtual at home. Bye-bye.
Yeah, but I hope it's not at 3 a.m., huh?
No. We'll do our best. We'll stay
Sige. Bye. I still have to make lechon kawali. My son is coming.